I published an article yesterday, and I know I just told you that I was really close to finishing the Baptisms for the Dead article, but this is one of those correlated subjects that just goes along with it. This is a pretty short one. It just covers Joseph Smith's teachings about Elijah and Elias as two separate people and their two distinct roles. It covers Joseph's mention of these two names in both D&C 27 and D&C 110, and then later on in D&C 128, he adds on some interesting details about Elijah and baptisms for the dead. So understanding Joseph Smith's false teachings about Elijah and Elias just goes hand in hand with understanding the false teaching of baptisms for the dead. You can read it at Ex-Mormon and the link is in my link tree. I'd like to genuinely thank my critics for giving me more sources to go look at, because I just added a whole bunch more information to my Elijah and Elias article. This comment got me searching for the 1840 Times and Seasons article where Joseph finally said that Elijah and Elias were one and the same, and I ended up finding the JST about Elias. So when Joseph did his translation of the Bible in about 1831, he changed this chapter where John is saying he's not Elias to say that he was actually telling us that the prophet who came after him, whose shoe latchet he was unworthy to unlatch, Jesus, that Jesus was the Elias. But then in 1840, like that commenter said, he had posted in the Times and Seasons saying that Elias was Elijah and that they are one and the same. So what happened in between 1831 and 1840 that got Joseph to change his position? Well, I put together this timeline of all of Joseph's revelations and mentions of Elias and Elijah, and very importantly, that in 1836 he started studying Hebrew and Greek a little bit. So before studying Hebrew and Greek, Joseph gave all these revelations talking about Elias and Elijah as separate people. And then sometime after 1836, after studying these languages, he realized that they were the same. And although angelic visitations from all these ancient prophets was a heavy theme from the beginning of the church up until 1836, after this point, Joseph rarely or never talks about angelic visitations again, unless he was just repeating his older stories. After 1836, he stops having angelic visitations and he stops talking about Elias altogether. From that point on, he only talks about Elijah and does not talk about Elias anymore. Because due to his study of the languages, he realized that they were different translations of the same name. Joseph did get very proud of his study of the ancient languages, so I had to include this quote from the very end of his life. I have now preached a little in Latin, a little Hebrew, Greek, and German, and I have fulfilled all. I am not so big a fool as many have taken me to be. That is just so ironically perfectly fitting.